Greetings and happy return. We will show Benjamin Banneker's life and accomplishments in this video. In addition to highlighting his extraordinary accomplishments as an author, astronomer, and architect, his narrative also demonstrates his steadfast dedication to combating racial discrimination and promoting equality. As a free black man in a country struggling to balance opportunity and freedom, Benjamin Banneker exceeded expectations and left behind a lasting legacy that adds to the rich tapestry of American history. Without the creative hand of Benjamin Banneker, the capital of our country would not be the glittering city that it is today. And if cars were still a novel marvel at the turn of the century, another miracle in the development was the metropolis of Washington, D.C. This medieval city was not designed by just anybody. The man who chose to give Benjamin Banneker the chance was none other than George Washington, the country's first president. It turns out that he was highly recommended by Thomas Jefferson, who also proposed that he join the planning committee. Benjamin Banneker was born on November 9, 1731, in what is now Ola, Maryland. He was the result of exceptional circumstances. In an era when slavery cast a shadow over the lives of many African Americans, Benjamin was blessed with a unique legacy of liberty, because to the efforts of his parents, Mary and Robert Banneker, who had freed themselves from slavery. The Banneker family was nevertheless subject to the racial stereotypes of their time, notwithstanding their independence. Benjamin's early schooling was provided by his English dairymaid grandmother Molly Welsh, who was wrongfully accused of stealing when he was a young toddler. During her trial, her reading skills prevented her from receiving the death penalty, but they did result in 7 years of forced labor in the American colonies. Little Benjamin was definitely inspired by Molly's fortitude and tenacity in the face of injustice. Growing up in a culture where racial tensions were rampant, Benjamin Banneker, a free black child, was exposed to both the harsh realities of racism and the benefits of freedom. His remarkable path began with an early education shaped by the wisdom of his unwavering grandmother, Molly Welsh. It was evident at an early age that Benjamin Banneker had extraordinary intelligence. His self-satisfied interest drove him to independently investigate the fields of science and mathematics. He started an extraordinary project that would shock his town in his early 20s, building a wooden clock with the help of a borrowed pocket watch. For an incredible half-century, this wooden marvel maintained precise time, solidifying its status as one of the area's wonders. Benjamin's curiosity about how the universe functions at a young age was unbridled. With minimal formal schooling, he was able to invent and create a great deal of inventions. Even his handmade wooden clock went against the conventions of the day. This wooden clock began his lifelong journey into the cosmos and grew to represent many of his inventivenesses. The Quakers from Pennsylvania, the Ellicott family, moved to Maryland in 1772 and founded Ellicott Mills, which is now Ellicott City. Soon after, fate would step in and bring Banneker and the Ellicott family, especially George Ellicott, close friendship. George, a land surveyor with a strong interest in astronomy, took on the role of Banneker's tutor and gave him books and other necessary resources on the natural sciences. Banneker's insatiable curiosity drove him to rapidly grasp the complexities of astronomy. The development of an ephemeris, a collection of celestial projections included in his first almanac, was his greatest accomplishment. An amazing coalition came together in the serene countryside of Maryland. Driven by a passion for astronomy, the Ellicott family and Benjamin Banneker set off on a voyage that would alter the path of American history forever. They discovered the star's mysteries together. Banneker was asked to participate in a groundbreaking project with the Ellicotts, the survey of Washington, D.C., the nation's new capital, after they were impressed by his proficiency in astronomy and mathematics. Plotting the limits of the city was greatly aided by Banneker, who used astronomical observations to estimate latitude and longitude. He gained respect and praise for his calculations' precision. After returning to his farm, Banneker set out on a new project, publishing a line of almanacs that included proverbs, mathematical riddles, and writings criticizing the evils of slavery, in addition to astronomical facts. He released 6 best-selling almanacs between 1792 and 1797. Benjamin Banneker's calculations and observations in the center of a newly formed nation's capital went beyond the confines of his day. He laid down the blueprint for the growth of the city, and his wise and socially conscious almanacs sparked debates about equality and justice. Benjamin Banneker struggled with the brutal realities of slavery all of his life. His conviction in the face of this cruel imprisonment strengthened his will to change things. He took a daring step and wrote a letter to Thomas Jefferson, the Secretary of State at the time, demanding that the horrors of slavery be acknowledged and that Jefferson utilize his position to fight for the liberation of people who were enslaved. A draft of his 1792 almanac was enclosed with his letter. Banneker was deeply validated when Jefferson responded to his cry for liberty by sending his almanac to the Academy of Sciences in Paris, France. The voice of Benjamin Banneker resounded through the corridors of power, firm and determined. His passionate letter to Thomas Jefferson expressed the same desires for justice and freedom as a great number of other people. And universal recognition annals Banneker's almanac finds a place. Benjamin Banneker died on October 25, 1806, at the age of 74 years. Despite never getting married or having kids, he left behind a mathematical, astronomical, and intellectual legacy that will live on in the annals of history. His life tale has ignited curiosity and resiliency in numerous generations for more than 200 years. Although the world lost a sharp mind, Benjamin Banneker left behind a lasting legacy. Even though he is no longer with us, his influence endures forever, reminding us all that the world can be shaped by knowledge, willpower, and the quest of justice. Benjamin Banneker's extraordinary life serves as a light of equality and knowledge. His remarkable path from a free African American living in colonial Maryland to becoming a well-known mathematician, astronomer, and activist is proof that the human spirit can persevere in the face of hardship. The memory of Banneker serves as a reminder that, despite the obstacles we encounter, the quest of knowledge and the battle for justice can result in significant and long-lasting transformation. Everyone can be inspired by his tale, which is a call to embrace inquiry, resiliency, and unflinching belief. Banneker was mostly disregarded or ignored, despite the fact that some of his contemporaries acknowledged his intellectual abilities. The response to his accomplishments exposes the inflexible racial and cultural norms of the Federalist and Jeffersonian periods. Banneker did not get the credit he deserved until the 20th century, despite the Banneker Institute opening in 1854. States like Maryland celebrated Banneker landmarks during the Civil Rights Movement, and his notable accomplishments started to be included in history books, particularly those that focused on African American pioneers. The United States Postal Service created a stamp in 1980 that featured Banneker, the first ever American astronomer to get such recognition. In commemoration of Banneker, a number of parks, schools, museums, and other establishments are named today. The Banneker Douglas School, for instance, is sponsored by the Maryland Historical Society, a historic church in Annapolis, Maryland, called Museum. In addition, the Old Farmer's Almanac, which has been published continually in the U.S. since 1792, maintains the traditional style, further cementing the legacy of Banneker's almanacs. However, the most popular kind of almanac nowadays is a convenient and trustworthy compilation of a wide range of historical, statistical, and other data. We are grateful that you stayed all the way through. We appreciate your time, and don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to ensure you never miss a video. For now, bye. Tomorrow, we'll see you again.